It's a warm afternoon in late August, and you're carrying a plate out to the porch. You don't see the nest. Nobody ever does. It's a hole the size of a dime in the lawn, and 3 feet under it, a paper city the size of a basketball, holding 1,000 yellowjackets. Here's the part that trap companies won't tell you. Catching a few hundred of them in a bottle does almost nothing. The nest just sends more. But there's an old move that does the opposite. You don't try to kill them yourself. You let them carry the cure home, straight to the queen, and clear your whole yard for the rest of the season. It costs about $3. It uses one ingredient most people buy the wrong version of, and done right, it leaves the honeybees alone. But 3 small mistakes in those viral videos get bees killed and waste your whole summer. And there's one situation where you stop and you call a professional. Stay with me, and you'll know exactly what to do and what never to do. Welcome back to the Almanac. Think of this as an old almanac of yard and porch tricks, the kind passed hand to hand by beekeepers, farmers, and folks who learned the hard way. Here's the whole thing in one breath, so you're never left waiting. You stop feeding the wasps for free, you set out a cheap feeding station that the workers carry back to their own nest, and you do it at the right time of year. That's it. The rest of this is how to do each part so it actually works, and so you don't hurt the wrong insect. We'll cover the free first layer, the $3 station, the timing secret almost nobody mentions, the 3 honeybee mistakes, and the 1 nest you should never touch yourself. If you remember just one line today, make it this: a trap removes a few wasps. A feeding station removes the nest. Let's start with why most people lose this fight. A yellowjacket nest is not a few angry bugs. By late summer, a single ground nest can hold 1,000 workers or more, and entomologists at land-grant universities will tell you the colony is built to replace losses fast. And these nests don't stay small. A colony that started in spring as one lonely queen can swell to a few thousand wasps by the end of summer. And the bigger it gets, the more foragers it pushes out the door every morning. So when you hang a drowning trap and catch 200 wasps, you feel like you won. But the queen is still down there laying, and the nest simply raises more foragers. You're bailing water out of a boat with the hole still in it. The old-timers figured out something smarter. A wasp colony survives by sharing food. Foragers bring food home and pass it mouth to mouth. Workers, larvae, and the queen all eat from the same supply. Scientists call that food sharing troph-a-laxis, and it is the colony's one great weakness. If you can get the foragers to carry home something slow, something that doesn't kill them at the dish, but works days later, deep inside the nest. You don't fight the colony. You let the colony do the work for you. That slow something has a name, and you can buy it for a few dollars. But you have to buy the right one. And that's the first place people go wrong. Before you spend a single dollar, do the free layer first, because it makes everything else work better. In late summer and fall, yellowjackets change what they're hunting. Earlier in the year, they want protein for their growing young. But as the nights cool and the larvae stop demanding meat, the workers go looking for sugar, ripe fruit, soda, juice, anything sweet. University extension offices have documented this seasonal switch for decades. It's exactly why they crash your picnic in August and ignored you in June. Walk your yard once like a wasp would. A dropped plum under the tree, a sticky can in the recycling, the dog's bowl on the step, a hummingbird feeder weeping sugar water down the post. To a hungry forager, that's a buffet with your address on it. So stop setting the table for them. Keep tight lids on every trash can and recycling bin. Pick up fallen apples, pears, and figs the same day they drop. Bring pet food bowls inside. Rinse soda cans before they sit in the open. Wipe the drips under the hummingbird feeder. None of this is glamorous, but every easy meal you remove pushes the wasps toward the one meal you want them to find, the station you're about to build. Do this for a couple of days first. A hungry colony takes the bait far faster than a fat one. Now, the heart of it. the $3 feeding station. And let's be clear about what this is. It is not a trap. You are not trying to drown them. You want every wasp to land, drink, and fly home carrying a gift for the queen. So everything about this build is designed to let them leave. Start with a clear plastic jug. An empty juice or water jug works, and clear beats a milk jug because you can see the level. Down the side, cut one narrow window, about 1/2 inch to 3/4 of an inch. Narrow matters. A small slot lets wasps in but keeps out birds, squirrels, and curious fingers. If the plastic fights your blade, fill the jug with water and freeze it solid first. A dull knife slides through frozen plastic like butter, and your knuckles stay clear of the slot. Inside, drop a few sticks or a piece of twine that reaches the liquid and climbs back out. A little ladder, so anything that gets damp can crawl out and still make the trip home. Then punch a hole near the top and hang it from a tree limb or a fence hook, 6 feet up or higher, away from raccoons, possums, and pets. Now the mix. And here is the one ingredient people get wrong. You want pure boric acid. 99% boric acid. Not borax. Borax is the laundry booster in the old box, and it is not the same thing. The wrong powder just feeds the wasps and prolongs the problem. Why boric acid? Because it's a slow stomach poison. Researchers describe it as slow-acting on purpose. Slow enough that a forager survives the meal, flies home, and shares it before it ever feels sick. That delay is the whole trick. A fast poison would kill the wasp at the dish and never reach the nest. Stir about 1/2 tablespoon of boric acid into a cup or two of real apple juice. Diluted, not full strength, and you'll hear why in a minute. In late summer, add a little protein the bees never want. A strip of bacon, or a spoonful of canned chicken or cat food. The wasps are hunting both sugar and meat now. The bees are not. Hang it where the wasps already cruise, near the porch, the garden edge, the trash corner. And don't lean on a single jug. For a 1/4 acre yard, set out 3 or 4. Spread along the edges the wasps patrol. You'll pull from a much wider circle that way. Then be patient. This is not a same afternoon fix. Give it 2 to 3 weeks. The foragers feed, carry it home, pass it through the colony, and the nest goes quiet from the inside out. One housekeeping note. The wasps lose interest in stale bait after a few days. When the traffic drops, dump it and remix fresh. A clean station every week or 2 keeps the line moving all season. And if a fresh station sits untouched, don't quit on the method. It's almost always one of 3 things. You're too close to the nest, the bait's gone stale, or it's the wrong season. We'll fix all 3 before we're done. Here's the part the viral videos bury at the end, if they mention it at all. Timing is the real secret. You can run this station anytime wasps are flying, but 2 windows do far more work than the rest of the year. The number 1 window is spring. In spring, there are no big nests yet, just the queens that survived winter, flying around alone, looking to start a colony. Put your stations out then, and every queen that feeds never builds her nest. Kill 1 queen in April, and you've quietly erased the 1,000 wasps she would have raised by August. The second best window is fall, right now for a lot of you. The colonies are at their biggest and hungriest. The workers are foraging hard, and a station set now can collapse a nest before the next round of queens flies off to overwinter. So if you take nothing else from the timing, hit them early in spring to prevent the nests, and hit them in fall to break the ones you've got. Midsummer still helps, but spring is where the real, lasting win lives. Now the honest part. The part those big videos skip, and the reason a lot of well-meaning people end up killing the very insect they wanted to protect. 3 mistakes. The first, making the bait too sweet, too strong, and putting it right in the flower garden. Here's the truth a beekeeper will tell you. even when a viral video won't. Honeybees usually ignore a jug of juice. They're built for flowers, and research shows they pass up plain sugar syrup even when food is scarce. But in a dry spell, what beekeepers call a nectar dearth, a hungry hive will take ripe fruit and strong, sweet liquid. A beekeeper down the road will tell you the same thing. In a dearth, they watch their hives like hawks, because a careless sweet trap can pull in the very bees they're fighting to keep alive. So you stack the deck, dilute the juice, add a tablespoon of plain vinegar. Yellowjackets read vinegar as fruit and come running, while bees tend to leave it alone. And in late summer, lean on the protein bait, because bees never touch meat. Then place the station away from your blooming beds. Do those 4 things, and the station stays a wasp station. The second mistake. We said it, and it's worth saying twice, borax instead of pure boric acid. Wrong powder, no result. The third. Setting the station too close to the nest. Foragers won't feed right on top of their own door. Keep it a good distance away, out where they're cruising for food, not back at the nest. And if they ignore fresh bait for a few days, move it and remix. Get those 3 right, and you get the wasps without the guilt. And now the most important thing I'll say all day. The line where you stop being handy and start being smart. A feeding station is a slow, gentle tool for clearing a yard over weeks. It is the wrong tool for an emergency. So here is when you put the jug down and call a licensed professional. 1. The nest is inside your home, in a wall void, an attic, a soffit, where you can't reach it, and sealing the hole only traps them chewing toward the inside. A wall nest fools people. You spray the entry, feel good about it, and the colony just opens a new door, sometimes into a bedroom. That's a job for someone with the suit, the gear, and the training. 2. The nest is in the ground right beside a doorway or a path, or where children and pets play, and it's active and aggressive. And 3. The one that matters most. If anyone in your home is allergic, stings are not a small thing. The CDC counted around 700 deaths from hornet, wasp, and bee stings over a recent 10-year span, roughly 70 a year in this country, almost all from allergic reactions. If someone in your household has ever had a whole-body reaction to a sting, that's a conversation with a doctor and an epinephrine pen, not a do-it-yourself afternoon. One more honest note. You don't have to wage war on every wasp. The ones nesting far out at the back fence, bothering no one, are quietly eating the caterpillars off your tomatoes. Clear the ones that threaten your people. Leave the ones that don't. That's the old way. Practical, not cruel. So let's bring it home. Take away the free meals first. Set out a $3 feeding station with pure boric acid, not borax, and an escape ladder, so the workers carry it home to the queen. Run it hardest in spring to stop the nests before they start, and in fall to break the ones you've got. Dilute your bait, add a little vinegar, lean on protein in late summer, and keep it away from the flowers so the honeybees stay safe. And when the nest is in a wall or by the door or anyone's allergic, you call a pro. Do that, and a yard that chased you indoors all August becomes a place you can sit again. Now tell us down in the comments, where are your wasps setting up this year? The trash corner, the porch eave, the old fence post? We read every one. If you want the simple one-page recipe and placement guide, it's waiting for you at the link below, free. Next time in the Almanac, we head inside, to the cheapest way to keep your home cool when the afternoon sun turns the upstairs into an oven. Until then, spend less, live more. This has been the Thrifty Almanac.